So hi guys, welcome back to a new Photoshop tutorial. My name's Manny, and thanks to all of you who voted and who gave me some good feedback on the last video. I really appreciate all your feedback there. Then also today I'm going to show you guys a really awesome plugin called Red Giant software, or it's coming from Red Giant software, called Knoll Factory, and it's a really awesome flare plugin that you can use in almost all your images or most of your images. Alright, yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so first of all, I've imported 3 images right into Photoshop. As you guys can see, image number 1 over here, a guy sitting in the forest, and I used already a nice flare effect here in the background. Then also imported another shot of a car on top of a mountain, pretty nice sky over here. I didn't use any flares in this image, or ended out using no flares, but I do want to show you guys how awesome it could look with another flare as well. And lastly, I also have an army shot here composited that I did a few months or years ago, I think a year ago, with just also really nice bright background, and this could also look really cool with another flare. So showing you guys this as well. Alright, so let's get started with our first image over here. Let's also quickly just go to Safari. I just want to show you guys you can also get this at redgiant.com, products all, and under Knoll Factory. So over here, a pretty nice plugin. Also, it's 3.0. I'm still on 2.0, so I need to go and get that upgrade again. But guys, for $199 per year, this is a pretty awesome plugin and a very good price. You can also have a look, 30-day back or money back guarantee, and I guess you can also get a 30-day demo version over here. Alright, so let's get started. So first of all, before I even go into the plugin now, this plugin will always work directly on your first layer. It will not create a second layer for you or render it out on the second layer, so just bear that in mind. Okay, so over here under my first layer, I'm going to make a duplicate quickly, drag it to the new layer icon here, and I'm just going to double tap on here and write flare. Okay, so I've got my flare layer now. So the next step that I will do is go back to filter, and I'm going to go all the way down to Red Giant Knoll Factory. Okay, so the plugin has loaded, and before we even start, I don't want to cover every little slider in here and talk about all the little things. You can play a lot with this plugin once you have it and try everything out. What I do want to cover is basically just talk here a bit about these flares, show you guys some effects. Then also down here you have loads of options to make it brighter, to zoom in, to make this flare look more random. You can scale it. In the center you have the whole preview window where you can basically take this flare and move it around. And what's now really nice and really handy, on the right hand side you have certain elements from this flare. So as you guys can see now, I've turned the disk and the poly spread on, and immediately we got a disk here, and we have also this poly spread in here. So now I'm able, first of all, under elements of light, to turn either the disk off, the global off, and just still have my poly spread. Or if I want to, turn the global on and turn the poly spread off, as I did here in my other image. So over here you'll just end out now with just the global effect. But now guys, this is even going another level further. You can go down here in the corner here under element parameters, and you can adjust everything that has to do just with your global. So you can change the position, the brightness, the scale, and so on. But if you don't want to do anything with global, you just wanted to do it on the disk, have a look, I turned the disk on now, so immediately this changed again, and I can now tweak this again and just change, say, the position of my disk ball or the brightness of it. This is such a powerful tool. Okay, so basically let's go back now, and I'm just going to turn on the global and poly spread again, and as you guys can see, there we are back to the start. So over here again, poly spread. Now I moved obviously the disk ball, it's a bit off now, so let's go back to disk. I'm just going to change to position just a little bit back, and mostly I end out using not the disk at all, or making this the disk very small, so such a small sun over there. And basically, as you guys can see now, I've used this effect already on the right hand side here, so I can move this as well again over here, giving him a really nice another sunlight. So as you guys can also see, I'm just going to turn off everything quickly. This image was actually shot right at also sunset time, and the sun was right behind him, so he was actually covering the sun. As you guys can also see, he gets a really nice rim light around him, but I actually do want to show that the sun is maybe somewhere over here, and also giving a really nice flare into the shot, like a sunset mood. So I went into this plugin, I've added just this flare, and there we have it. Looks pretty cool. So turning on the disk and global poly spread, I'm going to leave that. And okay, let's take our plugin now, move it, or the flare, sorry, move it all the way over here. And I'm just going to make the brightness a little bit lower. So as you guys can see now over here, I can tweak my brightness again, make this a little bit smaller, and I could also move this over here and now even have a double effect of flare, but it still looks kind of decent. So I can also move it over here to this side, maybe somewhere where we have no trees, and that looks around cool. I could have now actually make the brightness a little bit bigger, so it could also be that this sun, there was a second sun that would come from here. But what I really love about this flare as well is that you have a really nice spread over here, so the orange goes really good with your image. Have a look if I move it closer to the person, or if I even make the brightness a little bit bigger and just move this away a little bit. The orange spread of this flare, or in general all the flare spreads here, work pretty good. They go very decent and very subtly over your image. As well, this is a very high quality flare, so you can use it on all your images, on your super high res images. They will always be rendered out pretty good. Okay, so enough about that. Let's also quickly just run through our presets here on the left hand side. First of all, you got your standard 45 and then also 85 normal flare effects that you get from Photoshop, and then in here you get now really creative flare effects again. So we can go all the way down, say also here basic lens again. I'm going to go a little bit further, blue halo, so you can create really weird looking flares and also very creative images with this. Also have a look over here again, I don't know what this is called, Dancing Queen, pretty nice. So in here again on the left hand side, loads of very high quality flare effects. I mostly work, if I go down here, it's quite a lot of flares. Also down here, warm sun flare. I sometimes work with this, but just take out again the spike ball and also some of these random fan here. Really random names as well. So over here I don't really like these discs, so that's pretty nice. You can again take out all these different small elements. But now also let me just quickly go back here again to my sunset effect. So over here I do work a lot with this, so I know this flare quite well. So over here under global again, what's pretty nice, I can also tune my colors. So in here I could double tap on here and say I want the outer color to maybe have a pink color. Okay, so everything turns pink already, and the inner color should have maybe a dark red or something in that direction. Okay, and there it didn't change too much, more magenta in a way now, but as you guys can see already, we have a complete new flare here, but it's still a very high quality flare and a very good one. Okay, I'm going to say okay now and just import it as this completely weird flare now. So Knoll Light Factory is rendering that. Okay, so this has now been applied. As you guys can see over here, it also is just directly on our new layer. So that's why I also said just create a duplicate layer, because it will always render directly on your next layer. But as you guys can see, there are no red marks on here or rings around this flare. This is the best high quality flare filter that I know. So yeah, over here works pretty good. Let's quickly also just go to our car, do the same effect again. I'm just going to double tap on my new layer, create a duplicate with Command J, and I'm also going to take this now to Filter, Red Giant Software, and Knoll Light Factory. So over here again, now we have everything set back to our pink color, but we can actually go back into global and change this again back to normal. Also, if you restart Photoshop, obviously some of these settings will be set back to the normal preset settings. If you do want to save a certain flare that you've just created with a really nice color, you would then obviously again load and save your presets over here on the left hand side. Okay, but let's also quickly show you guys over here. This plugin also is pretty nice. Again, if I would take the disk now and also just scale the disk all the way down, it could look like the sun is sinking here, or it actually went down, and you would have a really nice flare effect coming here from the sky. Or if you want to, even like I used it in a previous method here, I used a vortex bright. I double click on here and you directly create your new flare. Over here I could move this around again, or maybe use it here on my lights. It's obviously a little bit strong, so I could take the brightness maybe down. If I want to, again over here, switch to my colors in the inner circle or the circle spread, and again in these few options. But just showing you guys again, this is such a pretty nice filter. You can use loads of different flares here, also a tunnel effect if you want to. Loads of them are very creative and you won't most probably end out using them, but simple small flares like this Vortex Bright is pretty handy. I would use this a little bit on the light, maybe mask it out a little bit or take the brightness down. And yeah, like I said before, again, loads of different flares in here. Let's also zap through some more. That's again our sun flare effect, obviously, but over here also a really nice summer emergence. And yeah, again, loads of different flares. I don't want to run through all the flares now, but obviously just showing you guys again, loads of nice flares. Okay, let's also hit cancel over here. So that's taking us out again. If I go back to army shooting and to this army image over here, again, create a new layer quickly and just say filter. And go back into Knoll Light Factory again. This is again, like I said before, we haven't saved this now, so it will be again on pink. So let's go to the poly spread. That's still normal. So the glow ball effect, let's maybe just take that to a nice orangey color over here. Also a nice punchy bright one. We can actually tweak that a little bit more. So over here, okay. So you've got a new color now that is looking a little bit better, and maybe the inner ring, and also a very reddish color maybe over here, darker red. Not too nice. So let's also try to be over there. That looks better. Anyways, if I can take this now and also move it behind the two guys again, you will also see this could look like there's a bomb exploding in the back. I can then again turn off the disc. I can make this a little bit smaller. And also obviously add more color to this again. I think there's still a lot of color lacking, so let's try a few more colors in here. More orangey, more yellowish color. Okay, and the red should be a bit more pumping. Okay, let's take this up a little bit more. So over here, just showing you guys again, if you would hide this behind the composite, this could look really, really nice. Okay, I'm going to hit OK now and just overtake this. Obviously, I had it composited, so I would do this light effect maybe behind them, then also do again those two guys on top and have really nice flare behind them. Everything is kind of red in here, would mask this out a little bit. And yeah, just adding another touch to your image where you can get really nice flares. Alright, so that's basically it for today, showing you guys just this awesome plugin and talk a little bit about the flare effects and everything around this plugin.